Hello and welcome to this video where we are going to be coding an AI SEO tool to replace traditional agencies. You can also secure founding members pricing at just $7 per month for the first 3 months by signing up to our landing page that will be linked in the comments below. We're also looking for 3 developers to become part owners of this project and help with development. So if you're a developer, fill out this form and we can get in touch. Here's what we're going to be programming today. We're going to be creating a module that can compare the keywords that exist, which users type in from Google Search Console or research tools such as SEMrush. Then we check against existing pages on our website, and we create a similarity score of the keyword against our existing pages. If the similarity is too high, it means we already have the page and we don't need to create it. And otherwise, we will mark the keyword as potentially good. And then based on the business owner's input, you can tick it off as the owner and go ahead and create that page. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Mark Möller. I run an SEO agency called Ecom Experts out of Perth, Western Australia. And if you need an SEO agency to help with your business, feel free to get in touch. There will also be a link in the video below. Now let's start programming. We're going to be coding this feature where we first take a list of keywords and then we compare it to our existing pages. We're going to be programming in Cursor, so I will load that up now. Okay, so let's start analyzing what it is we're actually doing here. We are looking to build a system that can tell us if there are a certain number of pages that we should be creating for our website. So pages we should be creating. And for that, we're going to be looking at our own website's existing pages at Google Search Console and SEMrush keyword data. Can be a completely different data source as well. It doesn't really matter. Just list of potential keywords. Then we need to match both of these against the set of business or SEO rules, because these days we don't want to create mindlessly pages on our website. We want to rank for very specific keywords, ideally things that are bottom of the funnel, close to making a purchase. And those are the types of keywords we want to target. So the process flow is as follows. We start with the GSC keywords. We're going to ask the AI to build a process to evaluate those Search Console and SEMrush keywords against our existing web pages. Then for some we will find, okay, there was a keyword in the potentials, but we already had a page, so we don't want to create that. And we now have a filtered list of keywords. We can call this list 1. This is the list of potential keywords that we can create, and then we will filter that again against the business rules. And after we've ran the business rules, we then have an idea of what kind of pages we can actually create. So this here is our end product, the second filtered list of keywords, because we've run it against both the business rules and our existing web pages. Now, running it against these rules, we now need to decide, do we want this to be a large language model making those decisions? So in here, for example, is this an LLM or is it an automated process using something like Python and then some text processing inside of Python? And if it's an LLM, is the LLM going to have access to Python, or is the LLM just iterating over text with its own large language model capabilities? So that remains to be seen and tested. For the moment, I would say if it's small number of keywords, we can just use the LLM directly because it's a bit quicker. And then if it's a large number of keywords, we need to most likely use Python and get the LLM tool access so that it can write its own Python script. So it would be an LLM agent of some sorts, because we want some automation here so that we don't need to make all the decisions ourselves in the end, which tends to happen when you just write some programming code. There are always cases where the programming code doesn't account for what you see in reality, and then you end up making decisions yourself which defeats the purpose of having an AI SEO tool if you need to make the decisions yourself quite often. So that's why we will be aiming as much as possible to build agentic capabilities to take care of that decision making and handle difficult edge cases for us as well. All right, so let the fun begin now. We will now go into Claude and set up this LLM evaluation by telling the AI, hey, everything that we have mapped out here so far. Okay, so we've written our business rules as well. In this case, we are going to be doing the keyword research for a dental clinic who wants to do teeth replacement procedures through dental implants. We are telling it to focus on the bottom of the funnel with ready to buy searchers. Avoid competitors' brand names and group similar keywords together. Keeping it simple here, this is going to be a prototype. Okay, cool. So now we are here in Taskmaster, which is an add-on that you can get for Cursor's programming tool. And it helps you plan bigger projects. It's not really needed as we get started here because we're working on a small feature, but I wanted to set this up so that we're starting in the right way. And once you have Cursor and Taskmaster installed, you are creating a project requirement document, PRD. For that, you want to map out roughly what you want to program. So I've got the PRD here. As a starting point, you can pause the video and have a look to see what it is that we're trying to code here. I will go ahead and ask for the PRD to be created. So this is the most important stage in the project. We now have our PRD created here. What you want to do if you're using Taskmaster is you go to create a new Google document and paste that PRD in here and paste from Markdown. Because if anything goes wrong here in this document, then you're sending the AI off on the wrong track to program the wrong thing for you. So just high-level overview, the tool is saying here, this is how we will ingest the keywords, potential keywords, CSE, CSV, website content analysis, business rules. Output will go here. That's all looking good. I would just say add 7 rand numbers to avoid overwriting. Then user experience, the user prepares 3 sheets. That's correct right now. We will optimize or automate that later on. User needs the Open Router API. Yep, user runs the script and then gets the final keywords. That is about right for our MVP. Okay, here we found something that will not work. The tool wants to iterate via a single prompt over the current keyword. What that means is if you have a list of 2,000 keywords, for each keyword you would request a large language model to make a decision. So that's not a good idea. What we want to do is to first group similar keywords together and then ask the AI to make a decision on a group of, I would say, 100 or 200 keywords at the same time. And this way we can process even larger volumes of keywords. Yeah, so all of this looks fine for the moment. So we'll go ahead and download this as our new PRD document in Markdown format. Then we'll open that up and copy that back. So now that we have our PRD finished, the tool already had asked us if we should go ahead and look into the PRD to then create the tasks. So that's what we said to do. Yes, pass the PID and create our tasks and subtasks. Now, before we go ahead and actually check the output to see if our application is working, let me talk a little bit about today's sponsor, Cloudways by DigitalOcean. If you need super developer-friendly and fast hosting for WordPress, then Cloudways is your go-to option. I personally like the features such as being able to clone an existing server, which makes it really easy if a client, for example, wants to take over a web server themselves and I can send them access to the whole server. Or if you want to create a copy of your website, as well as creating staging environments. So let me take you through how you can actually get started with Cloudways. Simply click here on the pricing options. Pricing starts from $11 per month, and I recommend going with the DigitalOcean option here. Once you're in the backend of Cloudways, and let's say you want to duplicate a server, you would click here on the left-hand side, My Servers, and you then click the three dots, and you then click Clone Server over here. You check what you want to basically do with this server. You can say, I want to keep all the settings the same on the server and make sure the same people have access to the server as well. And you click proceed and it will basically duplicate the server, including all of the apps that you have on the server. So that's a super nice feature if you want to ever either create a full backup of your server yourself or give clients access to their own server, and then later you can delete the copy that you had. So now let's look at how you can create a staging environment on Cloudways. You select the application that you want to create a staging environment for. You then click on Staging Management on the top left. And then you say Launch Staging Application. Select the server where you want to deploy it. And now the staging setup is already being started. Staging is there for you so that you can test website changes in a safe way to not mess up your main website. So I hope you found this little demonstration helpful. I will provide you a 25% off coupon code that will last you for the first 3 months of your Cloudways journey. I will put that into the comments below. Okay, so let's get back to our coding AI here. What has happened is that Cursor and Taskmaster have created that list of tasks that we should be working on. And you can see all of the tasks by going into the task.json or asking inside of terminal for the full list of tasks. So we've now made a few API calls here. We're currently getting some errors. So we're asking the AI to make some fixes here. It seems it was requesting keywords one by one, where we actually wanted 100 keywords grouped. So let's request this change, which is quite normal when we're coding with AI, that there are problems in the beginning. So we're currently installing Torch, which is a library from Meta for sentence transformers. So this is taking longer than I would like to. So I'll pause the video here. For today, what we have achieved is we've got the project set up and we will continue where we left off. We have basically achieved our workflow. We've already made an API call for the LLM evaluation here. We've got the project outline. We know clearly what we want to do and what we want to achieve. And now in the last step, we're installing all of the required packages so that in the next video, we can go ahead and hopefully get the output that we want. That will be a shorter video in the next one. I try to keep these educational so that you also learn how you can create projects yourself. That's why I create graphics such as these to explain what's going on in the background. I hope you found this helpful. Again, if you need SEO consulting, feel free to fill out the form linked below and I would be glad to work with you. Otherwise, sign up to our LLM waitlist where we're going to be replacing SEO agencies one feature at a time. So you don't want to miss out on this one. I'll see you in the next video.